Hey, fellow XRP holder, how you doing? So we are going to talk about in this video the judge's final order that has happened in the last 24 to 36 hours, the fallout from here. What is the fallout for XRP holders? You're seeing XRP down about 3% right now, which quite frankly, at the end of the day is not a bad thing as far as it's not dramatically moving down. We had some panic selling, people that thought that this was the end of the world, all that kind of stuff. So what happens next for XRP holders and where we go from here? Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about in this video. I thank you for giving me a few minutes of your time. And so let's talk about this and kind of go from there. Okay, so the judge presiding over the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit again came back in the last day or so and gave her final ruling and said, bottom line, SEC, Ripple, you can't change my decree, which was the $125 million fine, the injunction against against Ripple, institutional selling, all that, etc. Because if you remember, the SEC and Ripple got together themselves and basically said, "Hey, you only owe us 50 million, Ripple, and you can keep the other 75 million." And the judge said, "No, you can't do that." So where does that leave us? Where do we go from here? Okay. So I think that Ripple will settle the case. Now, the injunction is the issue here. I think Ripple will settle the case. The money, the $125 million, that's not really a big deal to Ripple per se. I mean, that's a lot of money. Don't misunderstand. But they've already put that money into an escrow account. So the X factor here, the issue is the injunction. And that's the only thing that might throw a wrench into it for XRP, the institutional side. And so I'd said in a video yesterday that I thought they would settle, and I do think they would if it weren't for the injunction. So because this is juxtaposed against the other side, is that I do believe, and I said this in my video and have said this in multiple videos, that I think that the lawsuit not being officially settled, like dead, done, is holding up strategic acquisitions, partnerships, all that kind of stuff for Ripple. And I think it's holding back major banks and financial institutions like Bank of America and Citi from coming out and publicly embracing Ripple's technology to leverage and use it from a strategic advantage for internal transfers, external transfers, all that kind of stuff. That's what I think. And I think so. The fallout for XRP holders is that we simply don't know right this second, because we don't know what Ripple is going to do or not going to do. We're all waiting on a message from, Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple, or their legal team or whatever it is, to kind of find out what it is. I still think they may just be done with it, and they may just say we're done, because you're talking about now probably another year or two more of proceedings with appeals. Our legal system just simply does not move very fast, right? And so again, I think there's the X factor here is it's the injunction. It's what happens with that. And so we did have a little bit of a sell-off, just a little bit in the in the last 24 to 36 hours. The overall market is down 0.9 though. At least we didn't see XRP dramatically drop. We didn't see a lot of panic selling, emotional based, oh my God, the sky is falling, selling happening and impacting XRP. That was good news. I was glad to see that we did not see that. But I think we've got to see here the fallout from this. And ultimately, we're all waiting on Ripple's reaction, their formal reaction, or their formal, what are they going to do? Because the ball is in their court. The ball is in Ripple's court, because the SEC is not going to do anything or say anything, because it's up to Ripple as to what they want to do to move forward with this. And again, it's the injunction that is the X factor, right? And so let's see what plays out here. And I think the market will not react negatively either way, because I think it's built in. I think the price is already built into the price of XRP, meaning that everybody's now had a moment to, if they were going to panic sell, they've sold, but they've had a moment now to kind of say, okay, we're going to wait and see. and, see what happens. So it's frustrating. It is that this is still playing out. We're still dealing with this, all that kind of stuff. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your comments. Would love to hear your ideas on this. So if you're watching this on YouTube or what have you, then definitely drop in the comments below. If you're watching this on X, please let me know your thoughts. I would love to hear what you have to say. All right. Later.